Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Black Lives Matter.
This is a place where people are fighting for truth and justice every single day. And so every time we come to the French Quarter and we spend our money here and we have to look at white supremacist monuments like that, I feel so sorry for our police officers today because they believe that it is their job to help keep peace for people who are trying to demonstrate white supremacy not only in symbols but in systems. This place is a place that is built upon black free labor, the lives of African people who have built this place. And we have to look at white supremacist monuments all over the city being exalted and being celebrated. But we understand that this is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
So if we have to take time here and we have to keep coming back to the French Quarter, trust and believe. These people, we already know that they were going to be out here today, and they show themselves to be consistent because white supremacists are consistent. So the goal is for all of you who believe in truth and justice to be consistent. Ashe?
Ashe.
Isn't it read a public statement? I'm going to ask that if there are any members of the media, if you would like to have a copy of this statement, that you're more than welcome to it, because we're making this declaration. We are so clear about what goes down today. We understand how these things work. And we're not concerned about those racist, white supremacists that are in there that will go out of their way to defend a monument. We don't care about your defense of the monument. We care about black lives. Black lives matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black lives matter.
Black Lives
I'm
Matter.
going to ask all these people who are in the circle to lock arms. People who are coming into the street, lock arms. Lock arms in the form of a circle. Having the mayor and city council remain silent is a problem. If the mayor and city council of New Orleans will not publicly denounce symbols that honor white supremacy and remove them to include in the French Quarter. Today is your warning. Today is your warning. Then we will continue to publicly denounce and protest white supremacy in New Orleans. We are fully prepared to start an all-out boycott of the French Quarter because you know what? These racist white supremacists make the French Quarter a very dangerous place. New Orleans acquires at least $7 billion in revenue from tourism. This is possible because there are nearly 70,000 mostly low-wage workers that keep the city of New Orleans operating. However, in New Orleans, there are at least 52% of unemployed black males, nearly 50% of children living in poverty in this city. So while we come out here and we sip on our coffee and we eat our beignets, 50% of children in this city are living in poverty. That's a problem. And the city profiles poor black lives to fill jails and prisons. And we are tired of feeding mass incarceration from the city of New Orleans. The city of New Orleans makes Louisiana the state with the highest level of incarceration. And the entire world is looking at us right now. Louisiana has more people in jail and in prison than entire countries. Police, all of you who are here today, and white people, you're not held to the same standard of accountability for committing crimes, even though you commit them every day. even though you commit violent crimes every day. In New Orleans, we are experiencing a state of emergency. In New Orleans, we are experiencing a state of emergency. In New Orleans, we are experiencing a state of emergency. It is important that today's action prove that the system protects monuments, but has no regard for proactively, consistently protecting Black lives. We had to come out here and protect ourselves today because in a predominantly Black city with predominantly Black workers making low wages, getting locked up daily, New Orleans is under a state of emergency. Say it with me.
New Orleans is under a state of emergency.
It's time for us here in New Orleans to understand that under these circumstances, it is a slap in our face that all people who believe in equity and justice have to see Andrew Jackson existing, elevated and celebrated in the heart of the French Quarter. And until he is removed, Jackson Square, the French Quarter, will be the focus of ongoing protests, because this is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Because current day white supremacists are allowed to continue making threats to peaceful protesters who have a right to be here. The police will protect them. The police will always protect property before they protect Black lives. It is important for us to understand it is the white supremacists who hold New Orleans hostage from growth and progress. It is the white supremacists who hold New Orleans back, hold New Orleans hostage from growth and progress. Take Them Down NOLA focuses on equity toward racial and economic justice. In spite of the mayor's hesitation, in spite of the city council's compliance with the desires of the wealthy racist people who refuse to allow progress to occur, we demand that the city of New Orleans do what it said it was going to do. We demand that they remove the monuments to Robert E. Lee, Beauregard, Jeff Davis, and the so-called Liberty Monument right over here in the French Quarter to white supremacy, along with all the other monuments to white supremacy in the French Quarter, including Andrew Jackson. That is demand number one. Do what you said you're going to do. Our second demand is that the city of New Orleans reallocate or raise, if they need to, the money that we need to not only have the Take Them Down NOLA move forward, but the Build Them Up NOLA initiative. Give it up for the Build Them Up NOLA initiative. These funds will also support the Markers Project. We want to erect historical markers all over this city that inform public people who come here, people who live here locally, and tourists of New Orleans' true history, whether pertaining to the economic slave trade, acts of resistance to oppression, or the great achievements by people of African descent. They think we only want to be out here tearing stuff up, but we're here to say we want to build stuff up.
That's right.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and protect each other.
We must love and protect each
We
other.
have nothing to lose but our change.
We have nothing to lose but our change.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
This is what democracy looks like.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Till we take down Andrew Jackson. Till we take down Andrew Jackson. No peace. Police. Police. No peace.
like. This is what democracy looks like.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. No peace. No peace.